Good afternoon. Welcome to NIIT Q2 results press meet. Thank you for joining us. Making the announcement from NIIT, we have with us Vijay Thadani, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, NIIT, Sapnesh Lala, CEO and Executive Director, NIIT Limited, and also shortly P. Rajendran, Joint Managing Director, NIIT Limited. To set the context of the Q2 results, I would request Vijay to share his opening remarks, please. Over to you, Vijay.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks, Prateek, and thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. Really appreciate the fact that you are able to attend this despite at this time a number of similar events happening elsewhere. We are here to discuss the results of the second quarter of this financial year, which is financial year 21-22. And I just wanted to say that this has been a very significant quarter, significant from 2 or 3 perspectives. One of which is that the overall NIIT has done reasonably well, and my colleague Sapnesh will take us through that. But the other important is that one of the businesses was going through a significant amount of transformation, and that transformation journey has now been completed, and we are back to the growth path as will be visible. So in this quarter, both the businesses have done fairly well. And the third thing I want to say is that though it didn't happen in the quarter, it happened just the day after the quarter. We have a new member in the family of NIIT, and that is RPS Consulting. That's an acquisition that NIIT did, which got consummated on 1st of October. But nevertheless, we are very happy to welcome RPS Consulting in the family and how they will contribute to the strategy set. It's been a very good quarter from both corporate learning as well as skills and careers group. So I would now request Sapnesh to take us through the highlights, and then we will of course open it for questions.
Thanks, Vijay. And as you pointed out, it has been a good quarter across the board. Our profit after tax stood at 52.4 crores. It was up 101%. The revenue stood at 314.2 crores, up 44% year on year. The EBITDA margin at about 24%, up 780 basis points year on year. The corporate learning group continued to drive growth, grew at 40% year on year, and its margin stood at 29%. The corporate business signed 6 new MTS contracts, a record in a quarter, the most that we have done ever. Its visibility stood at 294 million. The skills and career group accelerated growth. It grew 70% year on year and 11% quarter on quarter on the back of growing demand of TPAS as well as StackRoute offerings. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Sapnesh. Yes, Vijay, you were saying something.
Yeah, I think we can open it for questions if all the points are covered.
And we also have Mr. P. Rajendran joining us. Hi. So
trouble getting in. No, it's okay.
We can have the questions now, please.
Hi, congratulations on the wonderful set of numbers. So first thing I wanted to understand was we can throw some light on the demand environment, have things stabilized coming out from a pandemic, and which are the pockets which are contributing to the growth, especially 44% revenue growth, and profits are up 101%. So, if you could talk about that, that's first. And second, RPS is now a part of NIIT, as you mentioned. What sort of a value add does it bring in, for the company? If you can, talk about that.
Okay. Now, I think Sapnesh, you can answer both of these, please.
Sure, thanks. I think from an overall perspective, and I'll answer the question about environment from 2 points of view, both the corporate business point of view as well as the India business point of view. Maybe I'll go through the India business first. The environment has created significant tailwinds for the India business. There is a war for talent, digital talent, GSIs who are enablers of digital transformation, GCCs who are early adopters of digital transformation, as well as Indian enterprises are looking at ramping up activity and pursuing growth through accelerated digital transformation. And I think that has created significant demand for talent that is digitally capable. And I think we are very well positioned to take advantage of that opportunity. The journey has started. We are starting to see acceleration and a continued investment in our digital platform, as well as our pedagogy that ensures that we deliver outcomes in every training intervention that we pursue is going to keep us in good stead and keep our customers happy with reliable talent as they look at NIIT as their training partner. With respect to our corporate group, while we have seen growth on account of adding new customers, which is really basis the significant investments we've made in sales and marketing, as well as a growing set of satisfied customers results into more joining because we have good references from our customers. So we've added new customers, as I pointed out earlier. We added a record 6 new customer contracts, MTS contracts this past quarter. In addition, our good work has enabled us to increase the wallet share in several of our existing customers. So while from an overall training consumption perspective, our customers are not consuming more, but we are getting a higher share of their wallet. And there are more customers who, having heard about our services or pursuing focus, are starting to become our customers. So that's really what's driven the growth from an environment perspective. In terms of how RPS adds value, specifically with respect to our business in India, NIIT has traditionally focused on the early career segment, which is a student who's in college or a student who's just graduated from college and is looking at upskilling themselves so that they can get an aspirational job. That's the space that NIIT has focused on. I think with the acquisition of RPS, we are able to get into the experienced learner space or the working professional space, and specifically upskilling and cross-skilling and reskilling working professionals to take advantage of digital technologies, get adept at them, and help organizations achieve digital transformation. I think that's really the key value. It also brings to us a number of OEM partnerships. RPS has 25 OEM partnerships with the likes of Microsoft, Red Hat, AWS, Google, and so on and so forth, just to name a few. And these partnerships would be very valuable at NIIT, not just from an India perspective, but also from a global perspective. Similarly, through these partnerships, NIIT's corporate learning group can expand and pursue business opportunities with respect to digital training with its set of customers that it already has. So overall, I feel that this acquisition will create value in India by allowing us to pursue a new audience segment, also bring depth to our relationships with GSIs and GCCs, but then also help us increase our wallet share with the corporate 63 corporate customers we have.
Okay. And you mentioned, war for talent. So how has your own experience been when it comes to hiring talent for the company? How has the headcount grown this quarter? And, what is the back to work strategy? Because a lot of companies are now, bringing back their employees, back to office. So what is the strategy that you're adopting? Are you looking at a hybrid model, or will it be 100%, workforce back in the office?
Maybe I'll answer the second question first. I think from a back to work perspective, the safety and security of each and every NIITian, irrespective of where they are and what they do, is among the most important things that we that we consider. And we will not take any risks with respect to their health. While we see good results and we see things opening up, it was just 4 or 5 months ago then India and a large part of the world were going through very significant tragedy. And so we want to make sure that we achieve very high levels of vaccination, which to some extent we have. We also want to make sure that we achieve very high degree of safety before we bring NIITians in. When we bring NIITians in, most likely it will be a hybrid work model. We are working on different models. We are also very closely watching what's going on, and also talking to some of our large customers who in turn are spending a lot of time trying to figure out these decisions. So we take the back to work very seriously. We take the safety and health of NIITians very, very seriously, and we'll make sure that we do everything we can so that the timing and the modality of back to work is just right, and considerable effort is going on to ensure that, both with respect to vaccination, with respect to knowledge and awareness of people, as well as helping them ensure that through this holiday season, they stay safe. I think you had a second question with respect to how are we ensuring that we continue to persist while there is a war for talent out there. We added approximately 100 new NIITians this previous quarter, and maybe an additional 200 RPS NIITians through the acquisition in early October. I think we see the same challenges that others are, but I think from an overall perspective, NIIT is people. It's part of our vision. It's part of our ethos. It's part of, it's very deeply ingrained. And I think in spite of COVID, we've built very strong relationships with NIITians, which help us, which help us build real bonds with NIITians. And so there is a deep emotional connect. And not only, I mean, are we able to have industry-leading retention percentages, but we are also able to attract some of the NIITians who had left us in the past, where a number of them have chosen to come back. But I do also want to say that retention is going to become harder as the war for talent continues. We are also hiring new talent. As I mentioned, we added approximately 100 new NIITians this past quarter, and we continue to get fresh talent from key institutions and use our ability to train to ramp them up as quickly as possible.
Okay, and just one final question. Apart from this war for talent, are there other challenges that you see in the environment? Things that you could talk about?
I think one of the biggest challenges is that we are continuing to do business in a work from home model. While a lot of us have gotten used to it, but I think in many ways, while it creates efficiencies, there are many ways it lacks the creation of relationships. And I think training is a full contact sport. And when you take the contact out, it leaves a hole. And while we've used technology to the hilt to fill the hole, but I think not being able to be in front of the students, not being able to see NIITians eye to eye is a key challenge.
Okay, those are all the questions that I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you, Stuti, for your questions. In case there are any further queries, we are happy to take them on follow-up call or email. And so that brings us to the end of this press meet. Thank you, Vijay, P. Rajendran, Sapnesh, for joining the call. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.